How we doing, y'all? It is Devin. I'm here with Blake. We're down at the farm. It is the middle of August right now, and we are jacked up on Mountain Dew about the upcoming whitetail season. So we are doing some pre-season prep work. We got some stands that need to be moved, checking cameras, seeing what big boys we got moving around on the property. We're going to go through some of the food plots that we already planted, as well as, you know, strategizing and building some plans for the ones that are going to be planted this upcoming weekend with the other guys that are coming down. So thanks for tuning in. We're jacked, so let's go check some cams, bud.
Yeah, dude.
So we are back at the legendary Eric's food plot. Why is it called Eric's food plot? Because Eric wanted to call it Eric's food plot, and that's what we called it. But Blake here is grabbing the camera. He's struggling a little bit.
Where there isn't an SD card in it.
No way.
Way.
Well, that doesn't help us very well much. But so this is kind of one of my favorite food plots on the property. I don't know how many acres you think this is, Blake. 3? 4?
Yeah, the zigzags, I'd say 3 to 4.
So we have a 3 to 4 acre food plot. Planted beans as a base, and we ran about 5-6 rows of corn on the top side, and then all the way on the bottom, offering for maximum cover for the whitetails while they come in and feed. They can feed through the corn in, or on the bottom side. Oftentimes we do have a blind right up top here, so the corn might make it a little more difficult. We're discussing on potentially moving it, but cool thing about this food plot though is they come in from that corner and they'll feed them their way in. But at least last year, before we had the corn cover, and they'll feed their way into the corner down there and follow it down and feed back into the corn down there. But this year we're hoping to hold them a little closer to the side of the corn here, or on the other side within shooting range. So I guess we'll see how that works out. But this is, again, Eric's food plot. We got beans and corn for cover. Cameras we got on the property, Blake?
Roughly all cameras included, including cell cameras. We probably have borderline 30 to 35.
Cool.
So
we're trying to get to 50.
All right, what's up, guys? So real quick, I'm just gonna give you a little. So these little cameras, these are Brownings. This is the Strike Force, the Max HD series. These cameras, they're little, they're compact, and they take stupidly good quality pictures. They're super nice to use. I think they come in at, I don't know, maybe like 100, maybe just over $100, 120 maybe. But they're little, they're compact, like I said. Extremely easy to set up. Literally put it in there, turned it on, punched it in, just put in the date, time, AM, PM, all that stuff, and it was on 30 seconds. They do take video, but we like to just keep them on picture just because we only check cameras so often, so it's easier to flip through. But actually, so say for you public land guys, there's a lot of guys that I know at the Shields, they'll run these, and then they'll run the cell links by SPY Point off of it, and they use that, and they say it works perfectly good.
Spot number 2. What's it called?
So this one, I named it dump truck because the tree's pretty thick and she's got a dump truck. So yeah, here we go. But see, that's a thick tree. Dump truck.
So, a little backstory on this spot of the property. Actually, it hasn't been hunted very hard at all. This property's been in the family since basically the start of time. I actually saw decent deer up here last year, so I hunted here, did a hang and hunt a few weekends, and never connected with them. But these guys walked up a little further. I was like down the bluff a little ways. This has actually been a really cool project. It's actually been a work in progress. Sorry, my English, I failed that back in 3rd grade. For about 3 years now. And up top was all wooded. So all the trees were removed, stumps pushed to the side, and cleared out. Planted some switchback grass. You know what, I didn't get a major in that, so there's grass up there. Obviously you got the cornfield. Some nice coverage for the deers to hang out. And then the pond, which is here because of the dike. And the dike, normally it would drain down into the woods, but you know, there's a dike here, so it's not. And that's how the ponds are made. You hear that, kids? That is how ponds are made. You build dikes. Dikes make water stay. But yeah, super sweet spot on the property. We're jacked. It's gonna be a cool little, hopefully, kill hole. You know, build a pump station on some big old donkey. Blake got a new set right up there. You know, for us right-handed shooters, right down here. Kaboink! Don't do that. So this is one of the coolest plots on the property. It is called, Blake, what's this one called? Devil's Tower. And these dudes blew it out this year, and holy smokes, does it look good. We blew it out, had the skid steer, pushed all the trees out of the way, as you can see there, cleared it down, built up the dike on the along behind it, you know, added a pipe inside. This is some simple stuff. If you got a bobcat, anything that really pushes dirt, you can do it yourself. Me, I probably can't. I don't have a license for it, but Eric doesn't let me play with the big toys. So, yeah, you got the dike, gnarly pond, and as you can see, the deer are moving on it. Stand set number 17.5, but there's for sure gonna be some magic arrows floating through the pump station of a creature that we like to call a whitetail. A big old whitetail buck. Oh, one other thing. Quick, we gotta run over here. Man, if you ain't running through the woods, you ain't moving at all. So, last year, we had a tree, you know, 5-6 inch diameter tree fall down on the trail, right off the trail, and it fell horizontally. It had about, I don't know, 6 decent sized branches, all absolutely ripped up by some bucks. And I've never seen something like it before. I was literally blown away. Come to know, it was a whitetail, and a few bucks were ripping it up. So since we saw that the deer on the property liked that so much, and we did some research, it sounds like a lot of people are having success with it as well. We created a horizontal rub. Man, am I pumped about it. We're hoping, you know, it's another attractant to this location on the property that gives the deer another reason to, you know, spend their time here. We're all about hospitality here on the property, and, you know, we like to know our deer are enjoying their time here. And, you know, maybe they'll stay a little longer. It's just the way it rolls. We're like a 5-star hotel, Blake.
Yeah, but with some trail cameras.
Another cool thing about this spot on the property, we're looking forward to it, is we got 2 new, brand spanking new grizzly blinds. That one is going to take place this blind that you know, unfortunately didn't last. Well, it lasted. It's seeing its better days, so it got pushed over, and we're putting one of the new grizzly blinds right here. It's part of the transition point to the food plot, Man, I'm jacked about those. We're gonna pick them up. We're gonna do an episode. We're gonna do a walkthrough, show you guys a little bit about those blinds.
Oh
boy.
God. Dude. Prospect buck. Nice buck. I'd say 145, maybe pushing 150, but hey, gotta start somewhere.
So we're at a part of the property called the Island. I think it's called the Virgin Island, mainly because no one's really spent much time on this part of the property. But you can see beans are planted. We're gonna try to find a tree to hang a new stand at.
Eric's house is literally like right up there, about 450 yards. So
yeah,
there's one guy that hunts with the group, Chuck Bott. He's gun set. He's a natural born killer, and he's seen a lot of big deer on this river bottom that we just never think of hunting because Eric's house is right there. And we're like, oh, if you can see it from it, if you can't see it from his deck, you can't see it in the woods. So
yeah, it's a pretty gnarly transition point on the property because it's right along the river, which is right on the side of the food plot, and it runs across the road to the neighbors, and neighbors got deer, and they come from our bluffs, run the river, and we're hoping to hold them here a little longer and be able to hunt them.
the hardest part about this is no one's really hunted it, so it's trying to be trial and error. They come down to here, but it's just a matter of fact, are you gonna want to kill them right away over here, or are you gonna want to try and stay back here where you can let them feel comfortable, and once they get into the food plot or the field, then they feel extremely confident, and then you shoot them and harvest them.
That's how you do it. You just sit there with a slug gun. Cool. Well, we're gonna keep looking at some of these trees and see if we can find a spot. Otherwise, we might go to plan B and pop a blind in here somewhere. We're back at it. We're at a spot Blake knows well.
My rental lease, in other words, burned down right up there.
Where Blake shot his deer, what was it?
2019, 2020. 149 inch quad, we called them. Right over here, 33 yards. Smoked them in the lungs, went about 65 yards down that way.
I want to show you our licking branches manufactured by yours truly. What we did was we found some vines, you know, about, I don't even know how thick that is, inch diameter, and attached it with some string at the top. Bada bang, bada boom. All you gotta do is just get down there and, you know, give it a good lick. So we're gonna check the card and see if the deer been hitting it.
1,683 pictures on this little guy right here.
We are at stop number 17,533 for the day, but we are checking out a new set that the dude set out a couple weekends ago. So this is sick.
Yeah.
Nice and hidden.
You got fingers coming down everywhere for here. I mean, look at these trails, and it literally looks like it's like an enduro motocross trail. Enduro.
That's the name.
Yep, enduro. How do you spell it?
We try to name all of our stands and deer. I mainly contributed Stormy Daniels, so that's about all I've done around here. You sure that's a deer trail?
There ain't no cows down here. Alright, Eric, we need the rundown.
We've been raising birds for a couple months, and today's the big day. We get to let them go, and Dean's going to catch them all by hand. You're not allowed to use a fishing net.
I don't need a fishing net. Oh, man.
Who didn't buy us here how big they are? Oh yeah. So here's all the pheasants that we gotta rally up.
We're going to have 2 people catching, and then the cages stay here, and then one person runs the door and counts.
Oh yeah, got one! Woo!
Wait, what? Hey, you gotta name the first one.
This is Fred.
Oh. Alright, what's up guys? Blake here. So we just caught, or not caught, well, we had all these pheasants that that they raised. So essentially now all we're gonna do, we're on this big, we got a big bean plot down over here. This is all actually gonna be CRP come October. And then another small plot back here and a bunch of big overgrown trees. So this is where we're gonna let them go. You wanna cut this one loose there, guy? Oh yeah. A little bit of shake and bake. Ooh.
Hey guys, so what we got going on is we planted this whole entire field into soybeans. Then we came back over the top and planted corn in certain areas, and then we also planted corn on the top side. And what that did is it gave the deer protection and shelter and felt secure in here. And so you can see this is some pretty aggressive browsing that's going on. Our other food plots are, you know, knee to waist high on me. And so what we did is we just came in over the top and just planted some soybeans. We got some rain in the, or excuse me, some turnips. We got some rain coming in the forecast, and so we're just gonna let these turnips work into the ground naturally. As these soybeans continue to get browsed down, the turnips will hopefully grow up and we'll have corn, soybeans, more soybeans, and turnips all in this food plot and kind of being a one-stop shop for all the deer. So pretty excited about it. New experiment we got going on this year. And then on one of our other plots, we're gonna do rye, but same concept. Over the top of a browsed soybean field, just giving them that late season food source. So stay tuned, guys. Excited to show you.